the Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin True, and joining me today, he's the ladybug to my blood-sucking mosquito. It's Justin Housman. You were posting about ladybugs.
Is that what I was just about to go into that? I thought that was random. God, you were on it social media-wise. It's true.
I had a moment this morning. I'm like, I haven't written a silly intro yet, and so I just hopped on to see if you'd posted anything, and the ladybug thing
Isn't that a
popped
nice
up.
thing? I reposted something about, I don't know, somebody posted a little thing about how ladybugs are just like the best bug because they don't hurt anybody and they make everybody happy. And you know what? That is so true. Every time I see, even now, even before I had 2 little daughters, if I see a ladybug, like a 40-year-old grizzled dude with a beard and a ladybug would fly up. Oh, ladybug. Like, it always feels so cool when they land on you. You're like, yeah.
We could do like the friendly animal draft. Is it like ladybugs, like fireflies? Yeah. Like what else is there? Is that it? I mean, and nothing else are you like, oh, please land on me or touch me?
Fireflies kind of scare me because I'm from the West Coast.
Dude, fireflies are awesome.
They seem like something that would be in like Starship Troopers. Like it might shoot that fire at me. Or not the fire, but the light might be acid and might hurt me. I don't know. I'm confused.
when I mention things, if I miss from places I live, I should think of fireflies more often because even like early summer evenings when the fireflies are out buzzing around is pretty cool. It's pretty magical. It's a little like Lord of the Rings-ish, you know?
Truthfully, you know what's weird is that like I'm sure it's amazing. I saw them once on a road trip. I don't really remember it that well. It seems like one of the things that is so spectacular that should be in like every fucking movie at some point.
Yeah,
right?
you're
like,
right.
People should be wowed constantly, but it's like, yeah, I guess you're just so used to it.
Or like, was it phosphorescence in the ocean or something? These incredible, or the northern
that
lights.
Is pretty
these
insane.
Things that just like if you see them,
but that's not just like in your face every day all summer.
That's
like
a good point.
Like
that's true.
Fireflies
are very commonplace in certain areas, right? So like you would think that if people just get used to them, like it's firefly, no big deal. It's a glowing animal.
Like, there's glowing bugs flying around. This is nuts. Yeah.
We're recording this on Friday, January 12th, which means we made it to the weekend, which also means it's time for America's favorite podcast segment, which is What is Justin Doing This Weekend, presented by Long Weekend Coffee. So Justin, America wants to know, what are you doing this weekend?
Okay, this is going to blow your mind, right? 3-day weekend.
Is it? Oh, yeah, Martin Luther King Day. Yeah.
How could you?
I don't know what day it is.
3-day weekend. Like as far as I can tell, the entire country is about to just get like smacked with this like horrifyingly cold system coming down from Canada.
That's the rumor. Did you see the Chiefs game Saturday night? It's going to be like -4 while they're playing football in Kansas City or something stupid.
That's how it should be. Good luck, Pat Mahomes. But like pretty significant snowstorm. So as we do in Northern California, everybody's going to Tahoe this weekend. So I'll be fighting the masses. But we're being very thoughtful. We're going on Sunday, so we're gonna miss the gotta get up to Tahoe and get into an accident on 80 traffic.
That's what happened last
tomorrow.
weekend.
Dude, tomorrow's gonna be so gnarly.
Yeah.
Like huge storms and like people don't care and like oh dear Lord. And so we're actually just going for one night, but we're staying in a little town that's lower than like everything else. So we'll probably just have rain there. We'll drive up into some snow, but we're just going on Sunday. Monday I will be, if you hear about someone that went nuts and like murdered a bunch of people on the freeway, that's probably me on Monday. Cause it's the only downside to living in the Bay Area. Okay. There's lots, but like one of the main downsides is that everyone does the same thing on the weekends. So like, doesn't matter which direction you're going, like whether you live where I do in the North Bay or like way down in San Jose, all of us are going to be on the same freeway coming back from Tahoe on Monday midday. All of us. And so it'll be like a 9-hour hell drive back.
And you're on record for saying that Tahoe is your favorite place in the world, I think.
That's right. So I named both my daughters Tahoe. Right. It's confusing.
It's like George Foreman, right? It's like,
I say Tahoe. We're not actually going to Tahoe. It's easier for me
to
say where that is. I mean, it's where we're going to. There's actually just some random little spot we really like off of a highway that eventually gets to
You're
Tahoe.
not a skier. You can just snowshoe, kind of troll around, do some tromping in the woods.
There's a slight chance we'll do some cross-country skiing. Nice. I really enjoy cross-country skiing. Yeah. But I've never tried it with a pulk sled, which is the little sled you can tow. Presumably, mostly supplies, but usually it's people towing their kids around. So I don't know if I can do that on skis. I'm probably not fit enough to do that right now. What
is Justin doing this weekend is presented by Long Weekend Coffee with 4 varieties of beans. Long Weekend is the coffee for all of your adventures, not just on the weekend. Head to longweekend.coffee, shop around, get the best blend, which is Secret Handshake. And at checkout, enter promo code ROCK10 to get 10% off of your first order. Long Weekend Coffee. more weekend, please. Now, before we get
It is a long weekend, too. You didn't
it
mention
actually
that.
technically is at 8 place. Yeah. All right, before we get to headlines, I spent the last week really paying attention to riding my bike and using my bike computer after our conversation last week where you said that everybody needs to unplug.
Just to spite me?
Well, I wanted to see, because I was thinking, I was listening
You
to it.
You already did that. You just doubled down.
No, I didn't. I agreed with you that like people need to unplug.
I have no idea where you're going with this, but I'm surprised that it wasn't. And I just threw my phone into the sea, and you were right, Justin. It's way better. No. Well, go ahead.
I was thinking about it while I was editing the episode. I'm like, do I pay too much attention to it? Do I care too much? Mm-hmm. And I think I came to the conclusion. I actually really, I think tracking my rides actually makes me enjoy riding my bike more often.
I mean, I think that's indicative of a deep sickness in our culture, but
I don't know if
fine.
It is that though, because it's not to say that if I couldn't go for a ride without the bike computer,
yes,
that would be a problem.
Well, that's what you should try.
I do. I grab a ride.
You just did what you already did, and you just were like, it turns out I do like this, which is fine.
No, I don't.
You just thought about it more.
Okay. So wasn't really paying attention to it. So I was thinking about it, and I was like, okay, let me take it for the ride. Do I care? Am I looking about it too much? Am I thinking about it too much? Am I like poring over the data? Like, is this something that's unhealthy that I have convinced myself is healthy? And I don't know if it's either. I
don't think it's unhealthy. I just don't.
Don't go back. Don't backtrack.
No, I don't think it's unhealthy. I just don't like doing. I don't like doing it, and I feel like I'm probably thinking about it in a. I'm probably approaching going outside in a better way than you are.
You probably are. You know what? I really like seeing how many feet I climbed. I really like at the end knowing that kind of stuff.
I get that.
I think it's cool.
I get that. The thing is, I actually I derive happiness from inside, and I don't need external validation.
I'm not bringing this up to say that you should change. I'm just saying that, actually, I think I probably enjoy it more than...
What I'm saying is I don't need little numbers on a screen to say, Justin, you hiked 10 miles today or whatever it is to feel good about myself. I already feel good about myself.
All right, let's dig into some headlines. So the first one today comes from the Inertia with a report that, quote, the Inertia.
The definitive surf voice or whatever the fuck they call themselves?
They branch out now, right? They do all sorts. They surf and snow, right?
I don't know. I haven't thought about Inertia in 10 years.
Well, they're reporting about a Utah-based e-bike company, and I'm going to I don't know how you, Cyrusher? Cyrusher?
I tried. Right? I thought about it for a long time.
So right there's a problem. All right, before I even tell, everybody listening to this right now.
You saw that on the Inertia?
This is in the Inertia, yeah. Right, so they're banking on the group of folks who love e-bikes by introducing a very Utah-friendly innovation, because this is apparently a Utah-based company, the E-Snowboard. The board's called the Ripple. Mm-hmm. It's a $2,500 board with a 3,000-watt hub motor that attaches to a backpack battery. So you got to wear your battery. It has a max range of 15 to 20 kilometers and can climb a 20-degree incline. It reaches speeds of 30 miles per hour. You can add bindings to it for another $200 to $400. So basically, if you do all the upgrades, it brings the set up to about $3,000. Now, I've talked about my complicated feelings regarding e-bikes before on the show. And there's definitely a little kid from the 80s living inside of me that would see this thing. If you look at the video of it, and it's got basically a tank tread kind of wheel in the back, kind of propels you uphill, that thinks that, something that motorized like that is inherently badass. But $3,000.
Everything all the fun e-toys are $3,000. Yeah, all of them.
But for this though, I get the other stuff. I really do understand the bike stuff. I mean, you guys had an episode in the AJ podcast of that bike that Steve was riding around on. It made me it went and looked at it. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I'd like to have one of those. That'd be fun.
That bike looks sick. Right. It's all, what it costs? $3,000.
Okay.
Everything costs $3,000.
Okay, that makes sense. That seems justified to me. It's a snowboard with basically a little propeller on the back that shoots you up to 20-degree or less slope. I don't understand the application. What are you replacing here?
I thought about this. So I think I would probably consider one of these if I lived in Minnesota. Or Sweden or somewhere where it's largely
more rolly or not.
There's a lot of mountains in Sweden, but I mean I'm just trying to think of places that or North Dakota where it's just snows a lot and it's flat as shit. That would be pretty sweet, I think.
Yeah, as a sledding hill option.
But even just to get around.
Oh, really? Mystery Alaska where they were skating on sidewalks and stuff like that?
I get what else would be the point?
That's kind of what I'm trying to understand the application for $3,000. Okay, so the e-bike thing, you can have all your opinions on it, but it's I get it. Whether you're getting pedal assist or it's a moped style transportation thing, whatever. There's all sorts of applications. I understand the electric bike. What are you supposed to do with this? Are you saying I'm not going to skin up that mountain now? I'm gonna.
Yeah,
is that what they're trying to say?
I think so. But like, what's weird to me is like it kind of makes sense to me because I don't ski or snowboard, and I don't know how. Like, I don't know how to go downhill on one without falling and hurting myself, and I don't care enough to learn. So, but it looks like fun, like skiing and snowboarding. So, like, I'm about to spend a bunch of time on Sunday, like snowshoeing around, and if that was flattish and I could just kind of cruise up and down hills and through trees, that would on this thing. That's probably fun.
That would be kind of fun.
I would think. I don't know why e-bikes don't have that same, like, e-bikes are polarizing, obviously, but nothing like this.
But that's my point,
nothing
right?
Like this.
The aesthetics of it, and if I see the electric thing on an e-bike, it kind of bums me out. But whatever. But I really do get the application. I understand the advantages it can give.
Yeah.
I look at this and I'm like, well, so what is it for $3,000? Okay, I'm gonna.
Well, no, this it's obviously not going to sell. I mean,
well, that's. But what's the beginning of? Is this the first step to, like, hey, if you don't want to skin uphill and you don't want to ride lifts, we now have an option to help propel you uphill. That's the only thing I'm trying to.
Maybe.
Is that what this is?
Maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't really seem like it would work either. Looking, you're watching it. Like, how is that little paddle pushing you forward? Like,
they have this video, and it's not impressive. The video doesn't make it look impressive.
Really. Like, if a guy was like turning and throwing rooster tails, I'd be like, whoa, that thing can move you. But like, it doesn't really. It would make more sense if it had 4 little tracks, like a snowmobile does.
Right.
Like, if it was a snowmobile that you stood on, that would actually make some sense.
And then that's if it was like, if you told me it was like $800 and it was like, you could use it for sledding and light, low grade, ski hills or something like that. Like, okay, I kind of get that. Like $800, that's a lot of money, but I could totally see that being like the big Christmas present under the tree. Like, if you live in a place like Minnesota or someplace where it snows a lot or whatever. But for $3,000, like, what is it supposed to do? So that's ultimately what I was trying to figure it out.
Have we talked about the kayaks yet?
We haven't. We had it on the list, but we never really got to it. That's another one.
Like,
that one makes more sense though.
That makes all the sense in the world. I'd have one tomorrow.
Totally.
So it just, sometimes it makes sense, sometimes it doesn't, I guess.
Yeah. Well, keep working on it. Cy Rusher. Change your brand name, guys. Like, let's just start there.
It's not supposed to be Crusher, is it?
It's CYRUSHER. So Kyrusher? Sear Rusher? Is it a hard C or a soft C?
Is it like Cyrus and his girlfriend? Cyrus and her? Like, I don't.
Oh, maybe. Cyrus her. None of these are good. If we're getting any of them right, it's still not good. So start there, change your brand name, and then figure out a real world application for this thing, because it could be fun.
And then call us back.
Because I guarantee, if I met you up in Tahoe this weekend,
send me one. I'll try it.
Yeah, right. Send a ripple to Justin. If this company
is somehow listening, I will try one.
If you and I were in Tahoe this weekend with a couple of ripples, I guarantee you we would have fun riding those things around. I know it's not to say that it's not fun.
Absolutely,
I'm sure it is fun. But it seems a bit half-baked to really make a big press release and get coverage in the inertia and like, what is it? So our next story, we're going to file this under credit where credit is due, because for all the grief, we give outside on this podcast, this week, Outside launched PaddyO Sucks At, which features our friend Paddy O'Connell trying a variety of different outdoor sports in a fun and relatable way to both be initiated and uninitiated for those sports. It's a great concept. I don't know if you've watched any of it. Patty's the perfect host.
I watched the first episode.
Yeah, me too.
Did you watch it? He good.
Crushes it.
He's great. I mean, he's really good at that.
Incredible. Like, what's the ceiling for PaddyO? I mean, is he going to be?
I was thinking about that when I was watching it. Like, I don't know. Like, what's the difference between Paddy Colin and Will Ferrell?
I'm not. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I mean,
yeah. Like, I don't know.
He doesn't have. He's not going to be working in outdoor media in 5 years?
I don't know Paddy that well. I mean, we're friends, but I don't know him that well. I don't know if he has an interest in being in Hollywood.
Oh, I don't know if he has an interest in it, but I'd say if you told me in 5 years that like Patty's working for some big media company producing segments on cool stuff somewhere, I mean, just be like, sure, of course. Why wouldn't he be?
But he just fits so well in the outdoor community. It's great. I mean, it was funny. I really liked it. The guy he was climbing with was it was interesting because like there was like one point where Paddy was like the guy showing him like a hold. Yeah. And Patty's like commenting, he's like, wow, the gap between your like wrist and your knuckle is huge. It was like, what a weird thing to notice. But the guy had like really long, elegant hands, and they both like crack up. And then I'm like watching the guy kind of Patty climbs and fumbles around. I mean, Patty's enormously huge and like, probably looks like I would on the rock. And then the guy gets up and it's like one of the most balletic things I've ever seen, like the actual climber moving on the rock. And I was wowed by how like gorgeous this climbing was. And I'm like, I bet Paddy was thinking that's why he was all fascinated by the dude's hands or whatever. But it was like a great thing to notice.
Right.
You know, like he's really like he'd be great at improv. He's a funny guy. He's super relatable. Yeah, they did a good job. What took you so long outside to like?
I mean, Paddy's a gem. He's always going to be a gem no matter where he's working. I'm glad they took the notes on this. I don't know who pitched it, how the show came to be.
That seems like a straight Paddy pitch.
We're going to invite him to come on and talk a little bit about it, maybe get a little bit more of the background of the show, because I definitely want to know. But I am also incapable of keeping things 100% positive when it comes to Outside. I don't know why this is exclusively on Outside Watch, which is their streaming service.
Yeah.
And again, I put all sorts of qualifiers when it comes to Outside. I'm not trying to just take shots, but it's like the trailer isn't even on YouTube, right? I saw the trailer on Paddy's Instagram, and then I went looking on YouTube, weird. Couldn't find it, and then I went to Outside Watch, and there it is, and it's like...
But you can only watch the first episode. Like, I was like, I'll watch the fly fishing one, because I love fly fishing, and I he's already gone on at least a couple fly fishing trips and got skunked, because he doesn't know how. I was like, well, it'll be a funny one, but it's like you have to subscribe for $90
Do you have to subscribe? So you can only watch one? Is that what it is?
You only watch the climbing one. I think you can only watch the first one, I think. Maybe you can only watch one, period, but...
I mean, guys, like, Peacock and Paramount, NBC and Paramount, all these major...
Or like
media companies are struggling with their streaming services. Like, just YouTube's right there. Like 98% of outdoor content is on YouTube.
Well, Red Bull doesn't make you pay for their stuff. Like, you want to watch anything Red Bull's ever made? Cool. Every device you have has a free Red Bull app on it.
And now I feel too. You just said, okay, if you want to, like, I listen. We're rapidly reaching the point where the era of free content's going to end, right? And people are going to start to understand that I have to pay for stuff, even if it's digitally, even if I've had 20 years of not having to pay for stuff. So, but put the one episode on Outside Watch with the other ones. Put it on a YouTube too, so people find it. No one's going searching for stuff on Outside Watch. But
it's also not intuitive. Like, I guess if you just Google Outside Watch, but it like takes you a few minutes. It's not the most obvious thing in the world to find.
No, it's not a great platform. But anyway, sorry. So, Paddy, I don't know if you're listening to this. This is not a reflection on the show or you. You're freaking fantastic. It's so good. So I encourage everybody to go check it out. Paddy, congratulations. Hopefully we'll have you on the show to talk about it soon. Yeah, and our next story, guys, Pickleball Corner is back. And it's been a while.
I didn't look. I purposely didn't look at this part. I saw Pickleball in the outline and didn't read it. So this is going to be, whatever you're about to say is going to be a surprise.
Okay. So SGB Media had a story this week about the footwear brand Fila releasing the Volley Burst.
Wait. That still exists?
Fila?
Fila?
Oh yeah, Fila, baby. They're still around. Nothing ever dies.
Holy smokes. All right.
I don't know who the owner is or who has the license or who's doing what with it, but now, man, they released the Volley Burst, which is a new addition to its pickleball footwear lineup. So apparently there's more than one.
Volley Burst? Oh, like a volley. Okay.
Volley Burst.
Okay, yeah.
And the world's #1 female pickle player, Anna Lee Waters, which is a Fila-sponsored athlete, provided feedback during the design process to fine-tune the shoe's responsiveness during the play. Waters, who wore the Volley Burst during pro tournaments this fall, said, "I'm absolutely loving the Volley Burst. It was awesome for me to be involved and give feedback in the shoe's design process, and the comfort and responsiveness have me playing at the top of my game." In full disclosure, my wife actually bought our family a 4-pack pickleball kit for Christmas. We haven't used it yet. But this isn't about playing pickleball. Like, I really tried. So I saw this article, and I'm like, I'm not bringing Pickleball Corner back. We've done too much of it. But then I went and I watched a bunch of Anna Lee Waters videos.
Okay. I'm going to watch one right now.
Yeah, go look one up, right? And I want to get on board because I'm like, look, it's not going away. Like, it's like the Crocs thing. Like, I just have to give up. Maybe I just need to, like, assimilate like the Borg, right? Let's just go. Like, resistance is futile. It's fine. Just go become part of the collective. But no. We need to stop. Tennis is so much more entertaining.
Well, this
has nothing to do about playing pickleball. I go with this kit my wife got. I know we've said this before. We're gonna go play. I'm gonna be like, hey, this is really fun. We're gonna have a good time.
Okay,
right? Playing with the kids.
I'm watching now. Okay,
but
so
they stand in place.
It's tennis.
They're standing in place.
Well, the one I'm watching was straight. It was like baseline. It's tennis. This is just small tennis. It's
small tennis, but tennis is so much more entertaining if you're going to have pros and the money that comes to professional sports, that it needs to be spectator friendly.
Yeah, I've never seen this level of pickleball action. I'm watching it now, and this is entirely tennis. We got a net. We have one player's playing baseline, one player is playing up the net.
They have to take half a step to get across the course.
They are obviously like ex-pro tennis players, or possibly currently. Like I could see either this is Anna Lee Waters versus somebody named Parenteau at some championship match. So I hadn't really made this connection yet. It's race walking.
Oh my God. Instead of like running?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Okay, and who watches race walking?
Well, there is absolutely zero reason to think that tennis shoes wouldn't be fine from what I'm watching.
That's what I'm saying, man.
They'd be pretty
and
good.
Look, Anna Lee Waters, I'm sure you're great. And I'm not, look, if you're making money doing this, man, I am all for that. And I'm not trying to knock you off of any pedestal. But tennis exists, people. And if you watch tennis and what's the most exciting stuff? Like when they have to cover ground, right? To kind of get back and return the volley or whatever it is, right?
The problem is that there's a more athletic and exciting version of pickleball already, which is tennis.
That's it.
But like I'm trying to carve out room for like a sport where you're really good at tennis, but you're just not that fast or fit. Like maybe it's pickle. Like maybe there's something there. Like maybe it's like, okay, if I'm take my same skill set to a tennis court, it's not that fun to watch because I'm not hitting the ball that hard and I can't get to passing shots very well, but I can get to them on a smaller pickleball court. And so like now my skills with putting paddle to ball are in more evident. I don't know. You see what I'm getting? Like maybe there's room for this. It's like a softball league.
No, there's definitely room for it. And the whole thing about older people playing makes sense too. Like think about the people who like, I got to stop playing basketball because I'm going to hurt my back and hurt my knees, those things. Like if they would start playing like on a 6 to 8 foot rim, maybe they could keep playing ball, right? And it's the same thing here where like the older folks.
I'd watch the shit out of that. I'll tell you.
That'd be kind of great, wouldn't it?
Yes.
but my point is, it's not the game, the sport. I think it's awesome. I know. Sometime in the next few months, we're gonna go to some local pickleball court, like, cause we got this kit, and I'm gonna have to come on here and be like, "Hey, man, it's really fun." This isn't about that. It's the constant pressure of the sporting goods industry to tell us we need to care about pickleball, and there's money in professional leagues and sponsorships and footwear, and it's like to your point, just whatever tennis shoe, frankly, whatever shoe you want to wear, go out and play pickleball. And again, I don't want to take anything away from this woman. Like, I mean, I'm so stoked for her if she has created a career playing this sport. Good for you. I just don't get it. Why would I put on and watch a pickleball match if I could watch tennis?
Mm-hmm. I guess if you played a lot of pickleball, I mean, that's the only real.
I guess. Anyway, well, listen, sorry, I don't want to end on a down note, but man, was like, wow.
What about this? What about this? What about this? Like Ralph Nader.
Ralph Nader played a lot of pickleball.
How am I blanking on my favorite tennis player name of all time? Roger Federer. Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Ralph, those are often confused.
One of them started with an R. So anyway, Roger Federer, like he's already the best pickleball player on earth, right?
It has to be, right?
Like no question, I would guess. Like I think he's retired. I'm not positive. I don't really follow professional tennis anymore.
Question.
He's got it. He's like 38. He's so ancient for tennis. He's probably 40 now. He's done. He's definitely retired. Yeah. But like I would presume he'd just like pick up a pickleball thing and just smoke the shit out of everyone on earth, right?
Right. I'm sure there are some subtle differences, but a guy you'd think he would adjust so quickly. Well, yeah, right?
Literally in seconds. So how much fun would it be if like our next conversation pickleball corner was like, it turns out Federer just decided he was gonna like win the next
decimate the
700 contests.
That's right.
And just like show up at places where they're like kind of mostly amateur and be like,
he's scrolling on his phone,
damn it,
just
Federer's
like hitting
here.
the ball back,
that would be really cool. I would love to see that.
All right, man, we could wrap it up there. So what's happening? You got AJ podcast coming out on Mondays now.
I don't know. No, same old stuff, man. Same old stuff. I don't want to tease I don't want to tease any more about the new stuff.
Okay, no more teasing the new stuff. You got to wait for it when it comes out. But go listen to the podcast on Monday. Be sure to follow or subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening. Send all your comments on pickleball or anything else we talked about to myrockfight@gmail.com. Rockfight's a production of Rockfight LLC. For Justin Housman, I'm Colin Truth. Thanks for listening. And here to take us out is Krista Makes with the Rockfight fight song. We'll see you next time.